Thanks,
Christine. Well, one of our reporters is gearing up for an important journey to the Philippines. Yes. This won't be her first visit because in 2010, Meagan Kelly produced an award-winning documentary called Grace. The film introduces us to a young girl and her struggle to escape poverty in a garbage dump through education. Meagan Kelly is here to tell us more about her film and about why she's going back to the Philippines. She joins us live from our studios in Edmonton, Alberta. Meagan, good to see you.
Oh, thanks for having me.
So Meagan, by the way, congratulations for your recent nomination for the YWCA Women of Distinction Award in Arts and Culture. Way to go.
Thanks, Anne. It was a total honor. It blew me away, and it was just such a great event, being in a room with all these amazing women doing great things in their community.
So Meagan, your award-winning documentary, Grace, how did you come to make this film?
Well, in 2010, I was traveling as a video journalist, and one of the first places I went was the Philippines to document a development project going on a garbage dump in the city of Cebu. And when I went there, I remember the first day thinking I could not believe that people were living like this. They're scavengers, and a lot of them come from the rural areas of the Philippines looking for a job in the city. And when they get there, they find that very difficult. A large reason for that being they don't have an education. And I was just shocked. There are these 250 families, so 2,500 people living on a garbage dump. At the same time, though, I was so inspired because these people just had such determination and spirit and joy despite the circumstances they were living in. So later on in the year, as I started spending more and more time on this garbage dump, I decided I wanted to make a documentary, and I wanted to do it from the point of view of a child because those children there just, they just warm my heart.
So I know that the child that you chose, her name is Mary Grace. She is the girl at the center of the film. What is her story?
Well, I think she's made this film what it is. She was 13 years old at the time that we made the film. She's 15 now. And she's shy at first when you talk to her, but she is full of confidence when you ask her about school. All her teachers told me she's top of her class. So she's a kid just like anybody else. At the same time, she's got this incredible burden. She has lived on a garbage dump her entire life, and she has to help support her family, her siblings, her mom, by scavenging. She'll go through a garbage dump looking for anything recyclable, plastics, garbage, and plastics and cardboard, anything that she can exchange for a little bit of money. So she has this two lives almost. She has to play the role of a child, but also an adult in a situation that no child should ever have to live in.
We just saw some images there, and kids like Mary Grace, I'm sure would do just about anything to get an education. And how difficult is it for children like her to even stay in school?
It's incredibly difficult for a lot of reasons. First of all, it's just day-to-day existence for so many of these families. They might not know where their next meal is going to come from. So to go to school, not knowing what's going to happen the next day is incredibly difficult to do. That being said, they will do anything to get to school. But there are a lot of children that they can just go for one day here and there because there might be a monsoon and their family might not be able to scavenge for 3 or 4 days and therefore won't be able to put food on their plate, let alone go to school. And it's a sacrifice for the family as well because children are helping to provide for their families. The more people you have in your family scavenging, the more money you have, and the more money you have to feed yourselves. And so it is an incredible sacrifice for the family as well, and I talk about that in the film, to send their child to school instead of the garbage dump.
So Meagan, what is the impact of education for scavenger children?
There's a long-term and a short-term impact, which I'd like to share with people both. Long-term, that is one of the greatest ways that these children can overcome poverty. According to the United Nations, for every year of elementary education a child receives, their adult earning income potential increases by 10%. So even if they go to school for 1 year, every little bit counts. But even in the short term, besides giving them the hope and the dignity, which I saw in Mary Grace, having them off the garbage dump for 7-8 hours a day increases their health markedly because they are in a healthy environment. They are not on the garbage dump. And so Mary Grace, her health gets better. She can breathe better. She's not getting headaches. And so her family doesn't have to spend as much money on medicine and other things to improve her health. And so they have more money left over to buy food. And the biggest impact, though, I believe, is restoring hope and dignity because education is a human right. And I believe that we all deserve it.
For sure. Yeah.
So what's been happening since you made this film?
I was so honored. Grace has now appeared in 10 film festivals, which I really didn't think would happen because this is my first documentary. And it really propelled me. God really put it on my heart during that time. Meagan, you need to do something about this for these children. And I got to know them so well, Mary Grace and all her friends, that I really just wanted to stand up and help them get an education. So last year I started the Gift of Grace Foundation. I named it after her. And we're an incorporated nonprofit and working to send scavenger children in the Philippines to school. It only costs $70 to send a child to school for an entire year. It's incredible to me, and that just makes an amazing difference in their life. So I've been busy raising funds. I've been screening the film in schools, and why I do that is I feel that the film helps these students relate to what it's like to be a child living in the developing world, to see just how lucky they are to go to school, to see the impact it had in Mary Grace's life. And I've been so floored by their response. A lot of students have donated to the Gift of Grace. I had a student give me $100 towards the Gift of Grace, which sent a child to high school for an entire year. So and I'm prepping for a big trip back, and I've got an event here in Edmonton, a fundraising event on Friday. And yeah, I'm just really excited to see where this film is taking things.
Now, Meagan, you just said that you are going back. In fact, you're going back this summer. It'll be the first time you've been back since producing the film and establishing the Gift of Grace Foundation. What do you hope to accomplish?
The first thing I'm going to do, honestly, is go straight back to the garbage dump and find Mary Grace, because I haven't seen her in almost 2 years, and I've gotten little updates here and there from different charities that go on that garbage dump. She's doing okay, but I really want to see her face to face. So that's the main thing. And the other things I want to do are really just expand the Gift of Grace, meet with schools, meet with local officials, meet with other charities that I can partner with, and start getting these kids to school. My goal for this year was to send 100 kids to school for an entire year. So I'm excited to meet more children while I'm there. And of course, I'll be taking a camera with me to document some of that. And I'm planning on bringing some stories back for 100 Huntley Street.
Great.
All right, we'll look forward to that. We do have a clip from the film, so we want to have a look at that, and we'll be right back.
Ang pinakalisod na kang isa, tapos basurahan kayo kanang baho niya, then kanang uwan init, di, lisod kayo, di ko makagwanta gid na ako na lang giagwanta tungod gusto ko nga makatabang ko sa kuan pamilya. Hey.
Well, Meagan, from seeing that, it's hard to believe that, children, let alone adults, and anyone else would be around there and actually working in there and scavenging. So it's a great thing that you've done, Meagan, in bringing awareness to this, producing this documentary. And thank you. We're proud of you as one of our team members. And for more information about the film and the foundation, people can visit a website, Meagan?
Yes, thegiftofgrace.com. We've got all kinds of information about the film, about the foundation, and I'll be posting Facebook and Twitter updates too when I go back to the Philippines.
Great.
Okay, and be sure to tune into 100 Huntley Street also in the fall to see Meagan's follow-up stories from the Philippines. Thanks so much, Meagan. Great seeing you.
Thanks, you too.
Thank you for being with us, and we will have lots more of 100 Huntley Street coming up right after this.